A National Guard member ambushed near the White House has now died. Who she was and the latest on the soldiers still fighting to survive. Plus, the death toll rises in that Hong Kong high-rise fire and how investigators believe the inferno spread so fast. And President Trump is not being subtle, telling U.S. troops a land attack in Venezuela against drug cartels could be coming soon. The stories that matter, clear and credible. From across the country to around the world, these are your unbiased updates from Straight Arrow News. Good morning, I'm Craig DeGrelli. We begin this morning on a somber note. One of the two West Virginia National Guard members shot in an attack near the White House Wednesday has now died. In a Thanksgiving call with troops, President Trump announced that 20-year-old specialist Sarah Beckstrom died from her injuries. 24-year-old Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf remains in critical condition. The president called the suspect, identified as 25-year-old Ramanullah Lakhanwal, an Afghan national, a monster, and labeled the attack an act of terrorism. He also blamed the Biden administration for bringing Lakhanwal into the country.
As you may know, DHS has confirmed that the suspect is an Afghan national, flown here by the previous administration, who was such a bad administration. And I have a picture of a plane. This is what it looked like when they came in. It was total bedlam. Do you remember that period of time? Total bedlam. People crammed onto the plane. And the toughest, meanest, most capable physically got on the plane, not the people that we were looking for. This heinous atrocity reminds us that we have no greater national security priority than ensuring that we have full control over the people that enter and remain in our country.
Lakhanwal served in a CIA-backed Afghan army unit before coming to the U.S. in 2021 as part of the mass Afghan evacuation. He applied for asylum in 2024, and that asylum was approved this year under the Trump administration. While President Trump and FBI Director Kash Patel say Lakhanwal was not properly vetted, a senior U.S. official tells ABC News he was vetted by the National Counterterrorism Center and, quote, he was clean on all checks. In the wake of that shooting, the White House is ordering a wide-ranging re-examination of U.S. immigration records, and that move begins with green cards. U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services says it will review every green card issued to immigrants from 19 so-called countries of concern. Those countries include Afghanistan, Iran, Somalia, Venezuela, Haiti, and more. The director of U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, Joe Edlow, said he's acting at the president's direction, posting on X, I have directed a full-scale, rigorous re-examination of every green card for every alien from every country of concern. In a statement to CNN, DHS Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin said, effective immediately, processing of all immigration requests relating to Afghan nationals is stopped indefinitely pending further review of security and vetting protocols. In a video address Wednesday night, the president said the shooting underscores the need to recheck anyone who entered through the program that the suspect came through. No timeline for how long this re-examination could take or how many people could be affected. A horrific scene is still unfolding in Hong Kong, where a high-rise fire has now become the city's deadliest in more than half a century. The death toll has surged to 128, with officials warning it's likely to rise. About 200 people are still unaccounted for as crews spend a third day picking through charred remains of an 8-tower apartment complex in the Tai Po district. Firefighters, some still doused in ash, are going unit by unit, flashlights in hand, as parts of the building continue to smolder. The fire department confirms one of their own died after collapsing at the scene. Investigators say the inferno started in bamboo scaffolding and flammable construction netting, then raced up the outside of the building. Officials say fire alarms in all 8 buildings were not functional. 3 men from the construction company overseeing the renovation are now under arrest, accused of gross negligence and manslaughter. Officials are now launching a citywide inspection of all buildings under renovation and say they may finally move away from bamboo scaffolding, a practice used there for generations. This is now Hong Kong's deadliest fire since 1948. In the strongest signal yet that the U.S. might soon launch a ground operation inside Venezuela, President Trump told American troops that land action against the Maduro regime is coming very soon. The president made the comment during his Thanksgiving call with U.S. troops, praising the Air Force's 7th Bomb Wing for destroying suspected drug trafficking boats in the Caribbean. The military has hit nearly 24 vessels since September, killing more than 80 people accused of working with cartels. Trump said maritime trafficking is now 85% stopped and claims a ground operation would be, quote, easier. The U.S. has already moved the USS Gerald Ford into the region as part of a broader military buildup. Venezuela's president, Nicolas Maduro, who you see here, denies any ties to drug cartels and says the U.S. is fabricating a war against him. A fleet of UPS cargo planes grounded after this month's deadly crash in Louisville, Kentucky, will now be parked longer than anyone expected, and it could squeeze holiday deliveries. A leaked internal memo out Wednesday says the company's entire McDonnell Douglas MD-11 fleet will be down for months, not weeks. These aircraft make up 9% of UPS's fleet and 11% of FedEx's. A small slice on paper, but they represent hundreds of daily flights and thousands of packages. Boeing, which now owns McDonnell Douglas, reportedly told UPS the required inspections and structural repairs are far more extensive than first thought, and that every single aircraft will need to be torn down to identify and remove aging parts. The remaining 109 MD-11s for UPS are all more than 30 years old on average. Finally this morning, after a brutal news cycle, we're ending with something shinier. Literally, take a look. Meet Winter Egg. It's a rare crystal and diamond Fabergé masterpiece, one of only 7 left in private hands, and it's hitting the auction block in London next week. This little 4-inch egg is carved out of rock crystal, wrapped in platinum snowflakes, and encrusted with, get this, more than 4,500 diamonds. Wow. Inside, handled with care by the way, a tiny basket of jeweled quartz flowers, because even the Romanovs loved a surprise. Christie's calls it the Mona Lisa of decorative arts. Commissioned in 1913 by Tsar Nicholas II as an Easter gift for his mother, the egg vanished for decades, resurfaced in the 1990s, broke price records twice, and is now expected to fetch, get this, more than $26 million. Bidding starts on Tuesday. It almost sounds like one of those holiday commercials coming out, right? You know, the Christmas ones. This Christmas, tell her you love her all over again by getting her a Lexus. Or Zales, the diamond store. This fits right in. All right, hey, we're the fastest, fairest few minutes in news. We hope you agree. Tell your friends about us. You can always watch us on SAN.com or the app, or stream us on Spotify. Those are your Unbiased Updates for this Friday. We'll see you back here on Monday. For all of us at Straight Arrow News, I'm Craig DeGrelli. Have a great weekend.